Absolutely, I absolutely agree.
Some phone attention.
I absolutely agree, John.
Grüezi wohl, which is Swiss German for hello and welcome. Today I'm joined by my dear friend and fellow coach Florian. Florian is the host of his YouTube channel, also named by his real name, Florian Wuest. And normally we talk about fitness and health related topics, but today we would like to talk about how you can make 2021 the best year of your life. One of our main goals in life is to become a person in our prime, which basically means to level up all our three main areas of life, which are obviously health and fitness, business, career, but also relationships and our social life. So if you want to know more how to level up your life in all of these three areas, and if you want to know some practical tips you can implement right now and next year to make 2021 the best year of your life, stay tuned because we're going to have a lot of fun today. So first, let me start off with what I did 2019, because in the beginning of 2019, I was already thinking about this concept just on my own. And what I did is I looked at all these three life areas of mine and I ranked them from a scale from 1 to 10. So I looked at my business career and I realized I was still in a 9-to-5 job, but my business was not doing well. So I realized, okay, it's probably a 2 out of 10. And then I looked at my health and fitness, which was pretty good. I just had a photo shoot in December. So I was like, yeah, probably 8 out of 10. You know, I was a little bit skinny, but lean. Yeah. And then I also looked at my relationships and social life and I saw, okay, I had good friendships with my guy friends and also like female friends, but I didn't have a long-term relationship with any girl because I was kind of a little bit settling down and I wanted to have a long-term relationship. So I told myself, okay, it's probably a 3 out of 10. Yeah. So then what I did is I took these three numbers and I calculated the average. It's kind of subjectively, but just to see where I stand. So of course 3 plus 3 at 8 is like a 14, divided by 3 is like something below a 5. So if I looked at my life, better say subjectively, with my own standards, I had like a 5 out of 10 or even less. Yeah. So I asked myself, how can I increase that the best way possible? And how can I get a better life? Of course, by increasing this average. So then I thought, okay, which area do I want to tackle first? Business or relationship? And of course, I thought like, okay, if I want to do business, I need to be able to focus on my business, or probably need a girlfriend, or I need to see girls, otherwise it's not going to happen, right? You need to stay realistic. So then I went out, I was working on my, dating life, my social life, and right now also I'm here in Poland, my girlfriend lives here, I'm with her since almost a year, and I would say my social life went from a 3 out of 10 to a 8 out of 10. And the interesting thing is to get one of your life areas from 3 or 2 to a 6 or 8 takes the same effort, I realized, than taking one of your best areas from an 8 to 10 to a 10 to 10. But if you think about it, to go from a 8 to 10 to a 10 to 10 in maybe health, it wouldn't really affected my life that much, because maybe I would have a better six-pack or be even bigger, but I had no girlfriend and I had no real business. Yeah. So this was one of the biggest insights I had 2019, which I also implemented 2020, and which you guys should also implement in 2021. Like, you look at your life kind of, I would like to say objectively, but if it's your own life, it's kind of hard to tell if it's objective or not. But just look at it with your own standards and kind of give it a ranking and see which area you want to tackle first, because it's going to be pretty hard to tackle 2 areas at the same time. But even 3 areas at the same time, in my opinion, is almost impossible.
Yeah, like I would start even behind that, because this one is quite in the weeds, because you're like a very advanced guy, when it comes like to improving your life. But I think like a lot of people, like we feel stuck and we don't really know why. We feel like something is missing. I don't really know like why I'm feeling weird when I'm waking up in the morning. And it starts as this general like feeling of discontent. And then what I found out, like, and certainly like you've also found out, like you've just been like more rational about it. I think like than most people, just feel like stuck. So like it's usually one of those 3 areas that has not been covered properly, So it's like, you can also take a look at it from like the Maslow pyramid of needs.
That's a good point.
But I think like what really worked, like also like in my case, just like boiling your life down into, okay, you have like health, wealth, and love. Yeah. Those 3 aspects. And usually when you feel like bad in one area of your life, what a lot of people do, like we have certain strengths. For example, okay, we are really good at the gym, or we're really good, when it comes to our career. We're really good when it comes to our relationships. Then we double down on those areas.
Yeah, that's true.
It usually will not lead to as much life happiness than if you get one of those areas under control. That you've been not that good in covering, but it's also more painful.
It's like going to the gym. If I have good bicep genetics, so I like to train biceps a lot, but I don't like to train my legs that much because I have not that good genetics. It's like almost the same,
It's only human, you know. But it's like a lot of people, you know, we see those like very successful individuals like online in newspapers, and no hate, but some of them have like a very like focused life on success. You know, and like in my opinion, you know, like if you sacrifice like your health for your wealth, it doesn't make sense like in the long run. You know, so really like the way you have a great life and the way you make, like, to go back to the title, you know, like the topic that you would like to touch upon today, how to make 2021 better than 2020 or the best year of your life, is to really make sure that you got like all those areas of your life covered. And focus on the one area of your life that you've been neglecting. For the last couple of years. And like frankly, if you do that, it doesn't matter which kind of other circumstances you have. Like it could be another pandemic, you know, this could go until the end of 2021. But you still need to focus on you and making sure that you got this one area of your life covered that you need to focus on like most. Like as in your case, as you told like us, like the area of relationship.
It's exactly that. Like I realized relationships I was probably lacking the most. And I realized if I can improve that just a little bit, I will be more fulfilled and it will be easier to work on my business, which actually happens right now. And I think also because we are like, I mean, you talk a lot about health and fitness. I believe if your health is the area you neglect the most right now, it's going to affect you, I think, also overall like the most. Because if you don't sleep right, it's going to be hard to focus even on a business or to focus on like going out, meeting people, talking to people. I think this is also a big thing you should realize.
And I think like, okay, first of all, it's like realizing, okay, you need to focus on this. You know, you can improve this. And then like, what is stopping a lot of people to work on this? I think a big one is also like belief that you can do this. You believe like, okay, it's impossible to work on this. It's based, I'm not successful with the opposite sex or the same sex, depending what you're into, because of my looks, because of my status, or for example, I can't make gains in the gym because of genetics. There's also like self-limiting beliefs that can turn like into self-fulfilling prophecies.
100%, that's so good, yeah. Because if I wouldn't have believed that I could have a business, I wouldn't be in Poland right now and, you know, living the digital nomad lifestyle kinda. That's a perfect bridge because we too are actually in the same business mentoring program. We're getting mentored by Mario Tomic, maybe some of my viewers, I think you guys know him. And his business partner Fritz, of course. And we realized that especially mentoring is like almost like a hack in the matrix. You know, you can literally take the beliefs of someone else and you will see them manifesting in your life. And I think this is like the biggest hack you can actually have in your life for 2021, to have a mentor in one of these areas.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like, you know, like books, you know, they work. You know, we're both avid book readers. We've both read about probably 300 books in our life already. But there's only to a certain point the books can take you. Maybe you're like a very self-motivating person, then you can go to your goal line or wherever you want to go. But coaching and mentoring generally tends to be like the shortcut. Do everything you want to achieve. It helps like with the belief that you can do this, and then it delivers you the roadmap for you to actually go there. You know, because like I have a similar example as Charles, like with relationships. You know, like I remember when I was like a couple of years ago, I was working as a manager of a fitness center, and I was like, I got the aspect of like wealth covered, my health was good, but I was just like strongly lacking in the aspect of relationships. To the extent that I was really asking myself, dude, like, what is wrong with you? You know,
right? You're like unhappy, but there's almost no reason why you should be unhappy. You look good, you know. But then you realize, it's a relationship part.
It's like, okay, this is like exactly what I want to do. Like, it's all going great, and I doubled down on my work. You know, completely neglecting like this one area of my life. And what I did is I hired a coach. You know, I stepped away, like I walked over my ego, so to speak, because like your ego kind of tells you like you don't need any help.
Of course.
But the only real like baseline of determining if you need help or not are your results. If you're getting great results, then you don't need help. But if you're not getting results, then you probably need help. And I had kind of like swallow my pride. I hired a coach and like changed my life like this. You know, changed my life like this. Of course, it took some time, took some work, but like it laid the groundwork. It gave me the belief that I can do this.
I love that topic of belief because I always read stuff like this in Tony Robbins' books. But I knew it like in my head, but I never realized it in my life, like also especially emotionally.
Yeah.
But now since I'm in this business mentoring program and I make, to be honest, way more money than I could have thought about before I started, like in 2 months, it basically changed my life. And now since I did it once, you cannot take it away from me. You have like one experience, also in dating, if you are dating, let's say you are like a young guy or young girl and you date someone that is outside of your league, even though something like that doesn't exist, but still you date someone outside of your league, you do it once and you realize, okay, I did it once, I can do it again. You know, it's the same thing in business, same thing in fitness. So as soon as you do it once, no one can take it from you like ever.
Yeah. And by the way, this is not like a sleazy video to sell you like some sort of like program or so. You know, that we're in, you know, like we don't benefit from telling you this at all.
No.
You know, it's just like we want to share our experiences when it comes to improving our life. You know, because like we both started out, you know, not as like certainly not a head start.
You can actually talk about that if you want to. I started out, I know I'm born with a club foot, so I have 2 different feet sizes. Like still, one of my feet is like a child's foot size. So I cannot really. Can I show it? I don't know. Maybe you can see it. A little bit. I don't know. I want to show my stinky feet to the camera. But yeah. So
like authentic here.
Authentic, real here. Yeah, to be real here. And then because of that, I was never able to do sports properly. So I was a little bit chubby as like a 14-year-old. And I got an eating disorder because of that, because I always wanted to look like lean, and I started to eat less. But unfortunately, because of that, I got diagnosed with anorexia, which is a pretty harsh disease because just most girls are affected by it. So I started so low in the fitness area that I was like, you know, I had no gains at all, no muscle at all, had an eating disorder, had no girlfriend back then. Of course, no money because I was like a school kid. So I had to tackle this area at age 15, otherwise I would have died. My doctor told me, if you don't handle this, you die. So from a young age, I had to level up in this one area. And I realized pretty quickly, okay, without proper guidance, there is no way I can come out of it. So of course I had a psychiatrist. I went to the old bodybuilding forums back in the days, like German bodybuilding. To this day, I have like 10,000 posts in one of them, like Team Andro. Some people from teamandro.com still know me from 10 years ago. 2010, I registered there. And even then, like I had no mentors at all, but I went to the bodybuilding forum. And 1 year into my fitness journey, I had actually my first mentor. Her name was Ursula. I realized she trained me for free actually. She saw me like 45 kilos in the gym. I think it was even before the first. It was in the first months even. She saw me 45 kilo in the gym and she was like, okay, this guy has potential. I want to train him for free. So she did it all for free. And then I realized, okay, mentoring is actually so important. Without her, I would probably not be here because maybe I would have lost hope or something. So it's just like such a easy thing to say and it makes so much sense. But I see so many people that forget that, you know. As you say, even in relationships, you can get mentors. If you have a friend that is good with girls or a girlfriend that is good with guys or knows a lot about guy psychology, ask her, you know, or ask him. You know, it's just like you said, step away from your ego and this will get you really, really, really far. Yeah, absolutely. Like also the same in my life, like aspect of health, you know, like I nearly died when I was born. You know, like my parents doctors gave my parents 2 options, like either death or like dead or spend the rest of your lifetime severely disabled. So like health, you know, and then like spiraled out of control like in my teenage years, you know, like late teens, like smoking a lot, drinking a lot, doing all that stuff that you shouldn't do. You know, like it's funny now you're the perfect vegan YouTuber. You know? It's like, you know, like often drinking the blackouts. And I remember like one time I was so drunk, I was thinking about stealing a motorcycle, you know, and the owner called me, and like someone like kind of got out of it, you know. But just like I noticed that like if you don't get this covered, you know, and of course like you're just a teenager, but like if you don't get this covered, you know, like the law doesn't care if you're a teenager or not. The law doesn't care if you're 20, 30, but if you steal something, you know, then good luck. So health, then the wealth aspect, you know. I remember like I was looking to become a lawyer. I didn't know that. Then like I kind of changed around like in the fitness sphere, and everyone's like, okay, dude, you know, like you're lost. They told me the same. You're lost. They're going to give you like 1 year. You know, and I kind of like need to work up there. Like first as an intern, then a mentor, then mentor 5 fitness centers, and now self-employed. You know, so like it was always a grind. You know, and my first boss was like a true and like. I'm not gonna say the word here, but like it was tough. You know. So like aspect of wealth, and then aspect of like relationships. I was never the guy that like, you know, like
like we all have this story, you know, like some people are just like Chads in high school.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
For them it's like comes like this.
Guys.
You know, but I was the guy that got ignored.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I was the guy that got ignored.
Yeah.
I was the guy that was like, you know, looking for, this girl, I really love her. And like tried to get this girl for like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
You know? And then like she got like boyfriends at that time, and you were like, oh yeah, maybe she lost me secretly. You know, it doesn't work like this.
And you think like I would treat her so much better, you know, he's such a jerk, sorry for the word.
And you're like, oh, she cries, she comes to you.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
She has other guy. That's like, I've been there, done that. You know? And also like in all those cases, it was like understanding that number one, you have control over those things. You can change. It's not luck. You can work on those things and you can improve. And the second thing is really like finding someone that really like knows what he's doing and then helps you get there faster. And you've touched upon friends. This is a great solution, but most of our friends are not really supportive. You know?
I mean, our
friends are.
I changed my friend circle almost completely.
Like we worked on this. We worked on this too. But like a lot of things, like we have friends, you know, they kind of know what they're doing, but more often than not, they don't really, because they're not experts, you know. And then like, for sure, if you can get it for free, I mean, that's awesome. Like we all don't want to pay, like if we don't need to, but like don't be afraid of paying. You know, like I think part of being adult is realizing that for you to get some stuff, you need to incentivize other people to get them. You know, to help you get there. You know, it's like look at the flowers outside. You know, like flowers and the bees. Now the flowers are incentivizing the bees to take their like their semen.
Seeds. I think it's
the seeds. They're going to put them to another place. You know, they're incentivizing to give the bees food. You know, and that's how nature works. You know, so like apply this to your life. Part of being an adult is realizing that if you want to achieve something, you have to incentivize other people to get what they want.
That's a good point to touch upon, because I had my mentor for free, the first one. But I think if I would have paid, I would probably have had like even better results because you're more engaged. And it's funny you say the example with the bees and the flowers, because one of my other mentors, the best friends, he has a really successful business, and he gave his girlfriend, how do you say it, like a cover where you put letters in, you know, like a cover, I think it's called, with $200 in there. And he wrote on a piece of paper like, these are the rules, and the rules are basically if he plays video games during the week, she can just take the money. So he stays like engaged. And I think financially, it's like if you give money to someone, it's always also like a good way to stay like engaged. So you can create some emotional leverage, which I think what we mostly forget is we are still like primitive people. Our brains are still wired like 100,000 years ago when you live like in tribes of 10 or 20 or 50 people. So you can really leverage that stuff. So you can either give you a reward at the end of the journey or push you with some pain. And I think like financial stuff, like paying for something, can also really give you this initial push. And
it's also like you're saying, like we talked recently, like I told him like, oh, I wish I would have done this decision like earlier, you know, to work on this, you know, this aspect of life, you know, because I was essentially wasting my time for like 3 or 4 years trying to get like a hand on like on this self-employed stuff, you know, before like investing like a significant amount in my, you know, like improvement. You know, before I was just dabbling, I was not ready. You know, and there's the old saying that like once the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Which is partially true. Because obviously like you still need to find like a person that is right for you. You know? So like there's still some work involved. But like it's also, you need to get ready to the point where you're like, okay, I really want to get this under control.
Something that I realized also that I want to touch upon in this video is I know a lot of you guys and girls are struggling in 2020 probably because something happened. Maybe you lost your job or something else happened that is pretty bad. And something similar happened to me actually. So I got into a new relationship end of December before the whole pandemic started. And I moved to Berlin, to Germany, and my girlfriend lives in Poland, like pretty near. And you know, we hit it off for like, I would say 1 month straight. I was in Poland every weekend and we had an amazing time, totally in love, still totally in love. But then I was like, you know, just in the beginning, you know how you feel. And then she had to go to India to visit her parents, right? And the whole pandemic just started. So at the end, at the beginning she said, I just want to stay for 1 month there and I come back to you, right? We both totally in love. But then India canceled all the flights back to Europe. I had to wait for 6 months for her to come back. 6 months. At the end, it was like hardcore. I don't want to say we almost broke up, but it felt like we almost did, honestly. And during that time, I was like, why is this happening? I was asking myself really dumb questions, like, why is this happening to me? Life is so unfair. And finally, in another country, I have a cute girlfriend, my relationships were from 2 to 10, 3 to 10 to 6 to 10, why me, you know? And your brain is always finding answers to your questions. So then I was like, I need to ask myself better questions. So I told myself, man, why is this the best thing that ever happened to me, this harsh thing? And honestly, I need to be honest with you, man, I cried, I think, once or twice during these 6 months, because I was like, I had some little, like, how do you say, not burnouts, but, you know, what looked like too much emotionally.
Yeah.
But I told myself, okay, why is this the best thing that ever happened to me? Then I was like, let's improve my business. Maybe that's the time to improve my business. 2 months later, I see Mario Tomic opens his business mentoring. I was like, oh, this is the sign.
Yeah.
So if you ask yourself, why is this the best thing that ever happened to me? It will almost always be the best thing that ever happens to you, because you will find a reason to overcome it. Same with anorexia. Why is having anorexia and almost died at 15 the best thing that ever happened to me? Because it led me on this path of personal growth, personal development, you know?
Yeah.
It's insane. So if you ask yourself the right empowering questions, this was for me one of the biggest lessons of 2020, and it became the best thing that ever happened to me. Now I have enough money to travel to Poland to be with my girlfriend. I have enough money to move to Poland next year, and it's just such an upward spiral from then on.
Yeah, I think it all starts, this is like the question they told us, like the audience, me and the audience. Like, I think this is a really good question, because it puts the control back in your hands.
Oh yeah.
You know, you have control again. And it's a very good example of this one writer. I just recently read about this in a book. Essentially, like, his life was going out of control, you know, nearly thinking about killing himself. And then he made a challenge for the next year. Like, he acts for 1 year. Like, everything in his life is under his control. And what happened, like, his life changed like this. He got married, you know, like, he had his first, like, success in his professional work, like, his health was on point. Everything changed, you know? And I think this is the big thing that stops people. It's believing, like, first of all, it's believing, like, you have endless time. Like, the fact of the matter is that your life can end tomorrow.
Oh, I have a story regarding that as well.
Like,
I have a story
your
also.
life can end tomorrow. That you have to understand this. Like, you don't have endless time on this planet. And you like, based on what we know right now, you only live it once, you know? So you might as well, like, work on what you really want to do and on your goals as soon as possible. You know? And the second thing is understanding that everything is in your control. You know? So it's really the mindset and the belief in achieving that goal that you want that really lacks for most people. Like, as a sad reality.
So something I want to add here as well, you said you don't live forever, and this is also a big life philosophy that I implement in my life, because I've read Seneca, like the book, the essay about the shortness of life. And he says also, most people are greedy with their money, but not with their time. It actually makes no sense, because money can always come back if you do it right, but time, as soon as it's gone forever. And you never know how much time you have left. But you always know how much money you have in your bank account. And something that comes to my mind as well is we are here in Poznan, in Poland. And I had a friend here, actually. He was 32 years old. I wouldn't consider him like a really good friend, but I was with him at the gym here, and I met him for a New Year's. I ate dinner with him. And there was a cool guy, you know, like in the same mindset as we are, like personal development and everything. And in my mind, I was like, I even told him, hey, dude, let's meet next year. You know, I want to hang out with you. Let's go to the gym here in Poland, everything. So then one day I get a message from my other friend Giancarlo, and he said, you know, our friend from Poznan, he died today. And I was like, what, he died? Because of what? He's like, he got shot. I was like, what? He got shot? Yeah, like, you know, some guy that, I think some guy wanted to shoot his sister, and he was there with his whole family in the same room. The guy came in with a gun, and he basically wanted to stop him, and he killed him on the spot. But his sister survived with one wound, I think. And the guy also wanted to kill himself, but he also, I think, survived. But my colleague died. It was in March. At that moment, I was like, man, I'm worrying here about my girlfriend being in India, about not having a business. I'm scared of everything that was in the news back then. I mean, we all know what was in the news. I was like, man, I'm worrying about all these things, but it could be gone right now. And it was like a guy that I was eating dinner with 2 months earlier. And then also like, what should I do this year? And then I realized, okay, man, just double down the business. And that's when after I got a mentor. So I think that's a good time to wrap up our video. I would say maybe give our viewers some practical advice for 2021, or at least for also right now, how to make the next couple of months and the next year the best year of their life.
Okay, so I would say let's give a couple of steps here. Okay, first step is like really taking a critical look at your life and rating like your life, like even if you don't want to do this, like if you don't want to do this, then it's probably a good sign that you need to do this.
Oh, you know? That's a good one. Yeah.
So like really rating your life on a scale of 1 to 10, like how satisfied are you with your life? And the earlier you do this, like if you do this right now, like the better. You know, don't postpone this, don't procrastinate this. This is your life.
Yeah.
Then rate your life on a scale of 1 to 10. And if this is not satisfactory, like you're liking, then you need to improve on this.
Yeah.
You know, the way you do this is you boil your life down, like that scale, into those 3 constituent parts. It's like health, wealth, and love. And then you ask yourself, okay, on one of those areas, where am I lacking the most? You know, and then you kind of focus on the one area where you're lacking the most, and this will be not that pleasant.
Yeah,
you know, this will be painful.
Yeah.
Because like usually what most individuals do, they just focus on that stuff that they like the most, that they excel at.
Yeah.
You know, but you really need to focus on what you're lacking. You know, and once you bring this to a certain level, like which we'll be talking about like just after how we're gonna do this, your life will be so much better.
Yeah.
Because the first thing is really like analyzing your life in a critical fashion, really asking yourself what do you need to improve. Second step, Charles.
Yeah, so second step I would say is belief, just the belief that you can do it as well.
Yeah.
And you need to accumulate that belief over time. So one way is, I like to read books, of course, watching YouTubers, you know, that did the same. But the best way would actually be to get a mentor. In person is always the best way, but also online mentors now over Zoom, over Skype is also really good. So find someone that excels in this area and basically learn from them. And also what is really important, because nowadays there are so many coaches out there, find a coach you can personally relate to, maybe because of their personal story or of their character, and you know, learn from them. Like someone that really exactly has a lifestyle and the results that you want as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I would 100% agree with this. And really, like, you have to understand we live in a global world, you know? And the chances that you have an individual just like in your town, in the city that you live in, you know, that really like is where you want to be and can help you like get there. Like, is a good teacher as well. So not only like is he an expert of what he's doing, like he's done it, and like he can help you, because he's also like a good teacher.
Yeah.
The chances of this happening in your town, in your city, is very low. You know, that's why we have the internet. You know, because everything that you want to improve on, you can.
100%.
You know, so like mentoring changed my life, changed Charles' life.
100%.
You know,
100%.
because like that's something that will really help you.
Yeah.
Like, in my honest opinion.
Awesome. So at the end, also something I wanted to add, especially, is as soon as you get everything you want, funny enough, I think it's almost like in our human existence, like everyone, we find a way to find something better. So you always think about the next thing. So one thing you also need to realize, as soon as you have everything that you want, you kind of need to be grateful and just enjoy the way. Like what I like to say here at the end is, or empathize on, enjoy the way of improving your life and be grateful that you can walk this path. So many people out there that probably don't even have internet, maybe in India or somewhere else, they are poor, and you have the way to do that. So enjoy the way, enjoy every step, enjoy the process, because it's going to be an amazing journey. So this was our video. Thanks so much for watching. Down below you will see a subscribe button. If you like my content, subscribe down below. And if you like Florian's content, let's say what Florian said, go also down in my description box. I will put his YouTube channel down there. He's a coach, fitness coach, focused on vegans. So if you want to become vegan, like get onto the plant-based lifestyle, I would say, from my honest opinion, I've met a lot of coaches in that area. I know a lot of YouTubers personally, and he's like definitely the smartest one, most ambitious one, I would say, and also especially just, you know, he's like a genuinely good guy. I can tell you care about your clients, the people around you. So I really urge you to check his content out. Even if you're not vegan right now, still check it out, because I'm pretty sure you will like it.
Okay, cool. Thanks so much for the nice words.
Awesome.
And I'll see you guys next time.
Awesome.